Well, hello, leaders. Welcome again to our Leaders Moment this week. We're heading into week 7. Keep up the good work. I hope that you have found some new recipes for your small group by this point and that they haven't been having, a baked potato bar every single week up to this point. But they're going to have an amazing week this week. We're going again from Crazyville to where God has us. And so we're going to go from crazy to calm, to peace, to leaving a life of anxiety and living a life that is full of peace and calmness. So there's 4 scriptures we're reading this week. 1 Thessalonians 2:4 says this: "Our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts." John 12:43 says, "They loved human approval rather than the approval of God." 1 John 2:17, "The world and everything in it that people desire is passing away, but those who do the will of God will live forever." Romans 12:2 says, "Don't let the world around you squeeze you into its mold, but let God remold your minds from within so that you may prove in practice that the plan of God for you is good. Meet all his demands and move towards the goal of true maturity." And so kind of what we're talking about this week is that when our goal is to please man, it leads to anxiety. We're in the small group study. We're going to go through the 6 ways it's in there the 6 things we need to realize in order to move on from that. But at the core of this, there's something inside of us that wants to please other people instead of pleasing God. And I just kind of want to give you some insight into why we as human beings like to please people rather than God. In John 12:43, again, it says this: "They loved human approval rather than the approval of God." So why is it that we rather please man than God? Number one, many times it's easier. One of the reasons we like to please man is because it's easier to please the people around us than it is to please God. Getting people to like us sometimes is not that hard, in all honesty. To get a human being to like you is really not that hard, right? You let them talk about themselves, you buy them gifts, you get them a Starbucks, you tell them that they're awesome. You get what I mean? It's really not that hard. You wear the clothes they want you to wear, you do the things they want you to do, you spend your money the way they say you should spend your money. You do these things and people begin to like you. And it's easy to win the approval of other people sometimes. And so because of that, we say, well, all I got to do is this, and people are going to like me, so I'm going to do that. All I got to do is do this, and, all of a sudden my boyfriend's going to like me. If I just do this, he'll like me, whatever, I'll just do that. And that's a trick we fall into many times, is sometimes following God is a lot harder than following man because God requires some difficult things from us. But instead of rising up to the standard God has for us, we simply seek out what man wants from us because we think we can make that happen. Number 2, because that's what everyone else wants. Sometimes we seek out pleasing other people because everyone around us, they're trying to please people too. And so when everyone else around us is seeking something, it's easier for us to go with the flow and do the same thing they're doing. If everyone around us thinks that having a boat and a travel trailer and doing this and that is what they need to do, it's easier for me to do that. And so if everyone else is doing it, if everyone else is just trying to be cool, if everyone else is just trying to fit in, then I guess it'll be easier to do that instead of trying to please God. Peer pressure is not something that only happened in high school. It's not something that only happened in junior high. We still live under that pressure today, that everyone else is trying to please everyone else. So for us to try and say, I'm not going to try and please any of you, but I'm going to please God instead, is kind of hard. And the third reason many times that we seek out the approval of other people instead of God is because pleasing God means that we are going against what other people want. When other people want something and we say, no, I don't want that, I want something else, it becomes extremely offensive to other people around us, and so we don't want to go that way. In the same way, when you go on a diet and you say, I'm no longer going to drink soda, people that drink soda are going to be offended and say, what's wrong with soda? You think there's something wrong with me because I drink soda? And we have to move beyond that and say, I'm going to do what God wants me to do because that's what God wants me to do. So in your small group this week, help people identify, is this why you're trying to seek out people instead of God? But you're going to have an amazing small group this week. We love you, and we will see you at small group this week.